What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and today you're watching a magic review on A.B.See by Spidey. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. Please consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment on any questions that you have about the product I'm reviewing or anything you'd like to see in the future. Let me know your thoughts. Also, don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss a video or a review. A.B.See is a deck of very innocent flashcards that people will probably recognize even though they haven't had them before, with a very deceptive secret behind them. This deck allows you to perform some mind-blowing mentalism that we'll get more into in the tutorial section, as well as the quality where I'm going to show you the cards. What do you get? So this is $35. Inside, you get your deck of flashcards. There's actually 2 sets in this. So there's a double of every card. Essentially, you have 2 full sets of cards. You get the tutorial, which has so much packed into it. The quality on these is good. You know, it's made by the United States Playing Card Company. They're the same quality as your standard bicycle deck. Printed on the cards, they're all very simple pictures, you know, that I mentioned in the beginning that people will probably recognize even since, you know, they didn't have this deck. The difficulty level. That is where A.B.See really shines, because the secret behind the method is genius. You know, it takes some memory work, and that could scare a lot of people off. So that's why I like to say, I mentioned how easy it is before I mentioned the term memory work. It took me maybe 10 minutes to get all the memory work done. And in the tutorial, Spidey talks about how, actually he shows you how he has just a random couple. He spends about 10-15 minutes with them, and after that time they can perform this themselves. So it really is simple. You know, a magician or mentalist, you already use some of these principles behind the method. Definitely not the same as this, but this should be very easy for anybody already performing magic and mentalism to do. That's the difficulty level on how to use the deck or how the deck works. As far as routines go, the routines that are taught are all really simple. You know, there are a couple steps involved that are different depending on which routine you want to do, but difficulty level in general, whether it's how the deck works or actually using it, it's all pretty darn simple. The tutorial is very good. You get a ton of stuff with this. It's over 2 hours long. You're going to get the introduction, you're going to get some performances, some real world performances. You'll get the method and different ways to kind of grasp the principle and the concept, different ways to kind of train yourself, for lack of a better term. You know, one way may work better for another, whereas this way works better for you. So Spidey gives you a few different ways to get the work down, and it's all very simple. And then he goes over 6 different routines that are all very good. Some are, you know, you'll want to perform in the beginning while you're getting used to the deck. And then once you've gotten those down, you go into the more advanced routines, which again aren't very difficult, but you know, I think you want to start here and then go to the advanced ones later. And then there's also a Facebook page or a Facebook group that is dedicated to the A.B.See deck that has some great ideas from, you know, contributing members that have purchased this, as well as Spidey comes in and he also shares new routines and ideas. Back to the tutorial. After the routines, you are going to get some advice on cold reading, and then Spidey goes beyond that and he provides you with a generic cold read for every single card in the deck. So that gives you a great foundation, whether you're skilled in cold reading already or if you're brand new to it, using the generic lines that Spidey provides, and then over time, as you get more comfortable, kind of building off that and making it more unique to the person. You know, that was such a huge bonus. It really shows that he wants you to do as much as you can with this deck. Angles, I'm pretty sure this is angle proof regardless of which routine you do. I don't think that there are any angle restrictions that I can think of. Setup and reset, the deck comes ready to go. There is a setup required. Not that you have to do, like it's already set up when you get it, but if the cards are mixed and shuffled and everything, there will be a setup before you perform it for the next person. The nice thing about this is it doesn't have to stay in that original setup. The deck can be cut, and and also in the tutorial, Spidey goes over a lot of false shuffles and cuts and things like that to help as convincers that everything is completely mixed up and fair, and it really does feel 100% fair. The reset on this is really easy. You can reset this in front of your spectators without them noticing anything, and Spidey goes over ways to do that, kind of finishing up one routine and going into the next. He shows you how to do that, reset it in front of them. So the reset can be done in real time. It really doesn't take any time at all, and then you're ready to move on to the next routine, and it doesn't look like you've had to step away to do anything sneaky with the deck or really set it up in any way. Can it be inspected? 100%. This can be inspected. There's nothing secret about this deck. When somebody holds it, I mean, a lot of the routines, they're going to be handling the cards. There is nothing that you can be caught on. These aren't marked cards. There is no secret tells or giveaways to them at all. People can inspect these all day. There's literally nothing to find. Pocket space, at most, a deck of cards. But you're only going to be using one set. Unless, I mean, you can come up with your own routines. There are probably options out there for matching routines and things like that, where maybe the spectator has one set and you have the other. I don't know. I haven't explored that area yet. You could find something smaller to carry these in, since you're only going to be using half of the deck most of the time. But this is a really nice box in the fact that it looks completely innocent, something you'd pick up at Walmart, or maybe your kid brought home from school. And if you have kids, it's perfect justification for this, right? And again, I've performed this for people where I said, I had this lying around at home. I used this with my kids when they were learning to read, and I just figured I could do something with it. Now, I've had people say to me, oh, I had that deck too. It's something that we've all seen before. Not this exact deck, but people will remember having these even though they've never had them. Who will use this? So again, this is directed towards mentalists, but I don't think that you have to be a skilled mentalist to use this. Not one bit. It's very easy to do, and I think anybody can use this, whether you're performing mentalism or mental magic, if that's your style. It is colorful, it is childish as far as the way that it looks, but I think that strengthens the routines, because it's not a deck of cards. It's something that everybody's familiar with, but not associated to magic or mentalism, right? It's associated to childhood and learning. With that said, I think this is a total worker. You can do this with kids because of the design, but you can also do this with anybody, adults, and it's going to have just as much strength to it, because the justification for having these is so fair. This can be done walk around, close up, parlor, stage. It doesn't really matter, because the cards aren't the focus of the routines. What happens is, and I also think when it comes to, is this a worker and who would use this? Anybody who wants to improve on their cold reading or giving readings or just performance in general, because of the simplicity and of both how this works, the method and everything, this really allows you to focus on presentation, develop presentation, and to improve on your cold reading and mentalism. Is it worth your money? I think it goes without saying that this is worth your money. The fact that you get two sets, so if one wears out or gets damaged or anything like that, you have a backup set. And then the tutorial being over 2 hours long and getting the cold reading advice and all that stuff, and some false handling or false shuffles and cuts, 100% worth your money. The pros, I've already said. Negatives, this is a personal thing. I wish they were plastic. I wish they were plastic. That's just me. I don't think that's a negative overall. You're not going to be using these as you would playing cards, so they're not going to get all bent up and damaged and dirty and things like that. It's definitely not, I'm not taking a point off of this because of that whatsoever. And again, you have a backup set. So these don't need to be plastic by any means. I wish they were. That's all. And that's just a me thing. In the big picture, it's not actually a negative. I don't really care that much. And if I need to, I'll go out and buy another one. I think that wraps up my review on A.B.See. by Spidey. Highly recommend picking this up regardless of what you do or what genre of magic you are. I will leave a link in the description below. And thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next review.